Professor Allan Saxe on the line. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning. I think I heard Chuck Berry music before.
You did. I'm a huge Chuck Berry fan.
I love Chuck Berry. It's too bad he passed away at 90 years old.
Yeah, and what a story. I mean, you hear he would show up, and it was just Chuck Berry. The band was provided for him usually. And he would come in and he'd tell the band, okay, 1, 2, 3, you follow me. And he would play, and the band would play along. And at the end,
terrific.
He'd take his payment in cash, put it in his guitar case, and off he went.
That's my kind. That's my kind of entrepreneur.
No doubt about it. So, all right, Professor, a lot of stuff going on today. You have, let's see, Comey is going to be testifying. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's going to be interesting. Starting today, I think about 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 o'clock my time. I think it'll be televised. Two big issues before the House Intelligence Committee. One issue is, did the Trump administration have any collusion with Russia in regard to the election? The answer, I think, is a resounding no. The other issue is an allegation by President Trump that President Obama, either himself or his followers, to wiretap, he uses that word, the Trump Towers and the Trump election campaign. The answer there, no proof whatsoever. But the word wiretap is an old word for this day and age.
Yeah.
A better word would be surveillance.
Right.
Our surveillance techniques are so much more sophisticated than they've ever been. So the word wiretap, I think, is outmoded. The word surveillance, I think, a better word. And President Trump says he's going to give more information in the coming weeks about that, but probably not today before the committee.
I guess I don't understand why, if he has the information, why not put it forward? Why wait?
That's a good point. He may be waiting for other issues to come out, and that could be, what he's waiting for.
Yeah.
I generally do not talk about the National Enquirer or the Globe. People know those tabloids that you find at supermarkets.
I picked up the Enquirer because they say they have the story.
And they've come out, both the Globe and the Enquirer come out with some really tough stuff about surveillance and also about what they call, I think it's the Globe, about the Clinton payoffs, pay for play, as they used to call it. I don't know if I can trust either of them, but who knows? The National Enquirer has been right on more than one occasion. But
it is going to be hard, though. I mean, as it is, the president coming out and saying, well, I saw this on Fox News. And people are like, well, all right. But to say, come on, I read it in the National Enquirer.
People will laugh at you. That is right. Except the Enquirer has had some actual things.
I know. It's going to be very interesting to see where all this goes.
That's right.
So you have that. And what about the confirmation of Neil Gorsuch?
I think it'll go through pretty easily. It's going to take place. I'm glad you mentioned that an hour afterward. I think around 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 o'clock my time. I think before the Senate Judiciary Committee, the confirmation hearing, I don't think it's going to be very contentious. The Democrats are going to ask some tough questions, but I think he'll pass pretty well. The hearings will go on for a couple more days, probably Wednesday and Thursday, and I think he'll be confirmed. But even if he gets on the court, and then it'll go to the full Senate, of course, for a vote, even if he gets on the court, and I think he will, the Supreme Court, there's no assurance we know exactly how he's going to vote or what he's going to do. I look back to the Chief Justice John Roberts, who a lot of people thought, this is going to be a strong conservative.
Yeah.
We can depend on him. And then when it comes to ruling on the constitutionality of Obamacare, he rules it's constitutional. And a lot of people say, what in the world, where did that reasoning come from? And he brought up the issue of taxation. And a lot of people thought it was based on interstate commerce. But instead, he uses taxation as his method to get it around. And a lot of people scratch their heads. So no assurance, even if you get on the court.
Well, the one thing is you automatically assume, well, if you're conservative, you're, of course, going to be on our side. You're going to vote this way.
That's
the reality is these guys take their jobs very, very seriously.
I hope so.
And we hope they do, right? So
that's right.
Oftentimes it becomes down to their interpretation of the Constitution. Well, I guess it always seems to come down to that, or their interpretation of the law.
It always does. But some of these rulings by lower federal judges, I know that's not our topic for the day, but you begin to scratch your head and said, where in the world do these federal judges in Hawaii and Washington get their reasoning from? But that's for a conversation for another day.
Yeah. All right, Professor, very interesting. Professor Allan Saxe, as always, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciated.